This is BBC News. I'm Lukwesa Burak with the latest headlines for viewers in the UK and around the world. In New York, at least 19 people are dead after a fire rips through an apartment building in the Bronx area of the city. Also today, Novak Djokovic prepares for a court hearing, arguing that he has a vaccine exemption to enter Australia after having COVID last month. The entire population of the Chinese city of Tianjin, 14 million people, are tested after the latest COVID outbreak weeks before the Winter Olympics. Morrison's becomes the first supermarket to scrap use-by dates on its milk, encouraging consumers to reduce waste by using the sniff test instead. An Afghan baby separated from his parents in Kabul during the chaos of the US withdrawal is reunited with his relatives. And it's one of Hollywood's biggest nights, but this year's Golden Globe ceremony will be held without A-list stars or TV coverage. Hello and welcome if you're watching in the UK or around the world. Now, we're going to start off with some news that has been developing, a story that's been developing in New York. Now, we're going to hopefully show you some live pictures that have been coming to us. That is just some of the fire department vehicles and staff that are on location. Now, we understand that at least 19 people, including 9 children, died in a fire. That's the building you can see on the screen there. That is an apartment building in the Bronx area of the city. Now, the commissioner of the city's fire department, Dan Nigro, said firefighters had found victims in the stairways of that building on every floor. We're talking about 19 stories. Many of the victims were found in cardiac arrest. Now, we believe that some of those have been taken to 5 different hospitals in New York. City officials are calling it the city's worst fire in over 30 years. So that is the building you can see. That's a 19-story building that was on fire during the early hours of Sunday morning local New York time. At least 200 firefighters, we understand, responded to that blaze. And we are hearing that it broke out on the 2nd and 3rd floors. It's located on East 181st Street. It's a number of blocks west of the Bronx Zoo. The cause of the fire has not been revealed and is not immediately clear. So you can see some of the vehicles there still at the site of that fire in New York. So let's hear what the mayor of New York had to say a short time ago.
This is a horrific, painful moment for the city of New York. And the impact of this fire is going to really bring a level of just pain and despair in our city. The numbers are horrific. We have over 32 people who are life-threatening at this time. We have 9 serious injuries, 22 injuries that are not life-threatening, with over 63 people in total. We have 1 member of service also was removed to the hospital. This is a painful moment for us.
So what you were hearing there was a reaction from the mayor of New York. That was Eric Adams, giving something of an update concerning the fire that broke out in the early hours of Sunday morning in New York in the Bronx area. Many people have described the flames quickly engulfing that structure you can see on your screen. It was a 19-storey building, thick black smoke seen billowing out of the third-storey window where it's believed the fire may have started between the second and third floor. Now, we are watching this very closely. As you can see, that fire appears to have been put out. A number of people have been injured. Fatalities have also been reported. Victims and those with injuries have been taken to local hospitals. More on this story as and when we get it here on BBC News. You're watching BBC News. Let's return to our other top story. And Novak Djokovic's appeal against deportation from Australia begins in a matter of hours with a court hearing. The men's tennis number one has been holed up in a hotel room in Melbourne since he arrived in the country. The Australian government says he's not exempt from the requirement for visiting foreigners to be vaccinated. Well, the Department for Home Affairs had requested a delay of the hearing, but that was rejected. From Melbourne, Shama Halil reports.